So, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today for the Summer Abroad Information Session for the 2026 Mexico program. It's great to see we have so many students joining us today. So, let's get started with a brief land acknowledgement. We wish to acknowledge this land on which the University of Toronto operates. For thousands of years, it has been the traditional land of the Huron-Wendat, the Seneca, and the Mississaugas of the Credit. Today, this meeting place is still the home to many Indigenous people from across Turtle Island, and we are grateful to have the opportunity to work on this land. And we will start with some introductions. My name is Wenzhe Xu, and I'm the program coordinator for the Mexico program. I'm also joined today by my colleague Joe and Aisha, who are also a program coordinators at the Summer Abroad office, and they will be helping us on the back end and with any Q&A questions that we have going forward. And I'm thrilled to have today with the professor of the course that you're interested in, Professor Andrea Courtinois, and he will be speaking shortly about the academic content of the course. We have also a student speaker who is a participant for the course last year in 2025, Nate Bott, to share their experience with all of you. So we will start with a brief Summer Abroad overview. Then we will look at the program itinerary, some course information, and we will talk about cost and financial assistance, how to apply and admission criteria, accessibility, and other resources available. Before that, just a couple of notes. The session is being recorded and will be posted on our website within a few days. So if you need to leave early, no problem. You can always view the recording. And we will also be sending out the link to it. So it's a great way for you to share it with any friends or family who are interested in finding out more information about the program. So here we will get started with a bit of general information about what Summer Abroad is. With Summer Abroad, you take a U of T course. So it's taught in one of our many locations abroad. They are very small classes, so they are more seminar-sized classes. For the Mexico program in particular, it will be a limit of 24 students. So you earn a full Y credit, that's a full credit, during just 4 weeks during the summer. It's a great opportunity to get a credit done, and it's also a very immersive and intensive academic experience. You are actually doing a whole year's worth of work condensed into 4 weeks. So you're really concentrating into the course materials. Because it's a U of T credit, it also allows you to fulfill program, breadth, and distribution requirements. And the final grade will show on your record and count towards your CGPA just like an on-campus course would. So you're not looking at having to get a transfer credit or anything with Summer Abroad. And again, our courses are taught by U of T faculty, as well as international faculty guest speakers and guides. It gives you an opportunity to work really closely with your professor and colleagues in the class, and most importantly, to experience what you learn. So Summer Abroad is built around the idea of being out in the field and really looking at and experiencing what you are learning in the classroom. It's a great way to connect with guest speakers, local experts, and just to broaden your horizons. Our office is located at Woodsworth College, so you can see from my background, which is on the St. George campus. But our programs are open to all U of T students, so no matter which campus you are at, which faculty you are in, you are eligible for our programs. So some of the why going Summer Abroad, there are great academic, personal, and professional benefits to be had. As I mentioned, it's a full Y credit condensed into 4 weeks of study, and it's really a unique your opportunity to focus with your colleague to focus on just one course. Because you and everyone else in the class are only taking the one course, there's no distraction of having other tests or exams to study for, and you can really become immersed in the experience. And for many students, it's sometimes their first opportunity to take a small class of only 20 to 25 students. It's a great opportunity to work really close with your professors and colleagues. We always find that students are really appreciating getting to know their professors, especially sometimes they will end up asking for a reference letter from that professor because they found the professor really got to know them and they had a really good experience. For personal development, This is something we hear a lot from our students when we survey them after the program. Many students make lifelong friends in summer abroad because everyone is kind of thrown into this new environment together. Most people don't know anyone else when they sign up for summer abroad, so they really make close friendship during the program. And of course, gaining independence and confidence. For some students, it's their first time that they've lived on their own. For other students, it may be the first time they've traveled internationally. So it's a great opportunity to gain that independence and the confidence while you are still being supported by summer abroad and the resources that we have to help you overcome any issues that come up for you. And it's also great for professional benefits. We hear a lot about employers looking for people who are global citizens, who have international experience. It's a great thing to put on your resume that you've lived in another country for 4 weeks, that you have studied there with local experts and local guides. It's a great skill to have and to highlight for yourself professionally. And of course, we do find students that sometimes are so inspired by their experience in summer abroad, they decide to pursue a graduate study sometimes at that location. It can really be an eye-opening experience for a lot of students. In terms of eligibility, as I mentioned, it is open to all U of T students. You do have to be in good academic standing. So if you are currently on probation, unfortunately, you wouldn't be able to apply for this year. You'd have to wait until your standing goes back to good academic standing. And we do require a CGPA above 1.75, so that's the minimum cutoff. For this particular course, there is a prerequisite. We'll be looking at 9 full credits. They can be in any discipline, but we do want to see those 9 credits. For students who do not meet the prerequisite, I encourage you to still reach out to me because there is sometimes flexibility with that. Second year students who are completing their 9 credits will also be considered. So we are willing to consider all students. If you don't meet the prerequisite, just reach out to me for guidance. So this is the second year of the program. It's run in partnership with CSAS, who are an organization in Mexico. Just a little brief word about the itinerary. Your first 3 weeks of the program will be in Oaxaca, Mexico, and you can see that there on the map where it's located. That will be from June the 27th is your arrival and move-in day, and then you will stay there until July 18th. On July 18th, the whole group will travel together to Mexico City for the final week of the program. And that flight will be booked through Summer Abroad. So that's an internal flight and that you will be taking as a group from Oaxaca to Mexico City. And then on July the 25th, it's the day that the program ends. And then that's when students depart from Mexico City. So before I get into application details, I will hand things over to our professor and our previous student who can speak a little bit about the course and their experience.
And I was looking at myself and Nate, who is, as you know, a former student in the course. And I just want to emphasize that you don't need a shaved head to be part of the course, and it's also not a result of the course. So to clarify this little point. My name is Andrea Cortinua, and my weird name comes from the fact that my background is a mix of French and Italian. In Italy, Andrea is a very common boy's name, and Cortinua is a French last name. And I've been working, next year it will be 40 years in so-called global health. I have a strong interest in migration as a global phenomenon and its relationship to health, which is a bidirectional relationship. And this course is actually a course that I have taught on campus for many years in 2 versions, an undergraduate version as a 4th-year undergraduate course, HST 405, and also as a graduate master's and doctoral course. However, teaching about migration as a global phenomenon in Canada has some obvious limitations, right? Our country is in some ways geographically isolated. The most people who arrive to Canada decisions about their status in Canada have already been made before they arrive. So it's a bit of a different perspective than when we are right in the middle of migration as a global phenomenon. And Mexico is a perfect setting to reflect on migration. Mexico is the country in the world that has the largest number of citizens living abroad. It is also an important country of transit for migrants, mainly migrants who move toward North America, even if obviously considering what's happening right now in the United States, things are changing in that sense. And it is also a country that is becoming increasingly a country of destination. So we can really have an opportunity to see all different aspects, all different facets of the phenomenon being in one place. It is also a beautiful place, extremely rich in history, culture, languages, indigenous background, archaeology, etc. It's like many countries within one. It is the largest country in the world that is Spanish speaking, much larger than Spain itself. So it's a really fascinating place where to learn and spend time together. The course, as you have already heard, concentrates into 4 weeks the work of an entire year. And because of that is challenging, it's very dense. It in some way might even become denser with time the more we understand how things intersect with the work, for example, that our colleagues in Mexico who support the course do. But it's also, and Nate will be able to say more about that. I think it's also a really interesting way of exploring these issues. You won't hear only my voice. We have several colleagues from Mexico who present during the course. And we have been lucky enough last year, and I hope next summer we will be equally or even more luckier to have top researchers from the Americas present to us, so not just from Mexico. And we will work to better understand why migration as a global phenomenon is such an important determinant of health. And by doing that, we'll explore the fields of public health, the social sciences, law, human rights, etc. So it's a very interdisciplinary / multidisciplinary course. I think probably this is enough for now, but of course, if and when you have a question, okay, I see that there is a slide on evaluation, so I can mention this briefly. We have a weekly evaluation that is a very short a mini essay, we call it, that is an opportunity to reflect on the content of the previous week and also an opportunity for me to give you feedback on an ongoing basis. We have a final project that is completed in small groups and includes an in-class presentation and a term paper that is due after we come back to Canada. And there is a component of active contribution, active participation, which is not attendance because summer abroad courses require attendance. You demand attendance. If you miss classes, I believe you are kicked out of the course essentially. So this is really about your contribution to the course in terms of your reflections, experiences, ideas, etc. I don't know, Wanzi, if you have additional slides that you wanted to present on the course specifically.
No, that's the last one. Thank you so much, Professor Andrea Cotinois. And then I will hand it over to Nate, a previous course participant, and let me know if you want to switch to the next slide.
All right, great. Thank you. Yeah, so as you've heard, my name's Nate. I took the course last year with Professor Courtenoy. I'm in my third year of study right now, and I study philosophy and sociology. I'd always known that I wanted to go abroad, but I didn't really know where or what I wanted to study. And then I saw this course and was interested both in going to Mexico and learning about global migration and health. Um, and to be honest, I didn't know a whole lot about the course topics. I kind of came in pretty blind, but I think that the thing that you've heard about how interdisciplinary the course is very true. We had a small group, but coming from a very wide variety of backgrounds. And I think we were all able to find our place in the course. Um, and it might seem overbearing to hear that it's a full course load in 4 weeks. And while I would agree that it's intensive, it was never overwhelming. I think that um, I was always able to get a grasp on the material. And the fact that it was a small group, we had very in-depth discussions in class. I was always able to ask a bunch of questions to the professor and to the guest speakers. Um, and it was I really felt the freedom to get to explore the different areas of interest that I had in the material. Um, and I think a lot of times when I'm studying here in Toronto, it feels it's hard to see the connection between the course concept and the location and everything, and to get a little lost in the material. But I found that when I was in Mexico studying there, it was really easy to see how what we were talking about had its impact on the world around us. We actually ended up meeting a migrant who was uh, moving through Mexico, and it was really interesting to get to talk to them and to see how the stuff that we were talking about has its impacts on individual people. We took a field trip to a migration center, and we got to learn about how they operate and how they deal with larger scale socioeconomic changes, particularly in the US right now. And so that was really interesting. Um, to talk about the place itself, I think the thing that you can see on the screen right here with all the photos is the food. That might be um, the biggest thing I miss about being there in Oaxaca is the food. It was just fantastic. If you are at all interested in good food, then I cannot recommend this place enough. Every night we got to go out, we got to explore the city, go out to different restaurants, try different foods. It was so great. We got to go to multiple Michelin star restaurants, which was a new experience for me. Um, it was tons of fun. The variety of food was amazing. Got to try very new foods that I'd never tried before, and a lot of familiar ones that have become favorites now for me. You can go to the next slide. Yeah, we also took a lot of field trips. We got to go outside of the city. We went hiking. We went to this basically natural springs place where there's these natural pools you can see on the top right of the screen there. And we got to go swimming. We went to Monte Alban, which is at the bottom left, which is at the top of a mountain, these old ruins, which was a really unique experience. We also took a field trip to an indigenous medicinal house where we got to essentially do a steam room, which was very new for me. We went to a jaguar sanctuary. We got to learn about how they make yarn in Oaxaca and how they make alebrijes. Um, and it was just a very, very interesting experience. Even just walking around the city every night was really a fun thing to do. There were lots of activities around the city, lots of arts and crafts. Every night there was dancing, tons of nightlife. So I was never bored while being there. And I think the thing that I take the most out of that experience there, is just how much there is more to learn, both within the course and just around the world. Going to a new place There's always more that you can see. It was a really meaningful experience to me, and I cannot recommend it enough.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Professor Cotino, and thank you so much, Nate, for sharing the course and also your experience. So moving on, we will talk about some of the logistics of the program. In terms of getting to Oaxaca, students make their own travel arrangements to and from Mexico. What we do is once students are admitted, we provide a recommended flight to students, and you are free to book yourself on that flight. We usually find that most students will book themselves onto the recommended flight, but sometimes students choose not to. If you are either traveling before or after, or if you can find a cheaper flight, all up to you. But we do provide a recommended flight for you. So the first flight is the flight in Toronto to Oaxaca. It's actually in two parts in June the 2017. The 27th, sorry. The recommended flight is Toronto to Mexico City and then to Oaxaca. And then at the end of the program on July 25th, the flight back home is from Mexico City straight to Toronto. So that's what the recommended flight will look like. And as I mentioned, there will be an internal flight that we book for you from Oaxaca to Mexico City. Another thing we do shortly after admission is that we ask for students to create some sort of social media group so that everyone in the group can start connecting ahead of time. Some students use this as an opportunity to find others to travel with. There will be that opportunity for you to connect with other students ahead of time. So accommodation or housing and meals, the hotel accommodation will be double occupancy rooms. That will be in the case in both Oaxaca and in Mexico City. The hotels are good quality, but don't expect like 5-star accommodation. They are reliable budget hotels, and they are arranged through the help with our on-site coordinator who lives in Mexico and is very familiar with Oaxaca. Especially, we will be making the hotel arrangement for our group. Breakfast will be provided at the hotel, but you will have to budget for other meals, lunches, and dinners. We say budget a minimum of $700 for meals. You may want to budget a little bit more for that if you'd like to go to nice restaurants. As Nate mentioned, there are a lot of nice restaurants in Oaxaca and in Mexico City. And if you'd like to eat out a lot more, but that would be the minimum that we would ask you to budget for meals. In Oaxaca and Mexico City, we are currently just finalizing the bookings. It looks like you will be staying at Hotel Central by Marriott. For the Mexico City hotel, that's just being finalized. Do check out our website soon. We will post about details as soon as they are available. So I just grabbed some pictures from the hotel in Oaxaca. Feel free to Google it, Google the hotel name and look for pictures or reviews yourself. This is the lobby area. There's another picture just so you kind of get the feel of what it looks like. This is one of the rooms. So as I mentioned, students will be staying in double rooms at the hotel. If you do have any questions about accommodation, feel free to email me as well or book an appointment and we can talk about any further questions that you have. And like I said, the website will be updated with more information on the hotels shortly. Moving to visas and insurance. So students are responsible for arranging for making all of their own travel arrangements. For Canadian citizens, you should check the Government of Canada website, which will let you know what the entry requirements are. International students, you will check with the Mexican consulate in Toronto to find out if you need a visa. You can find their website online, and you should be able to find it on their website based on your nationality. We always recommend students to apply in Toronto for their visa because we do provide supporting documents once you're admitted. We provide you with more information, and once you've paid your deposit, we are able to provide a visa letter for you, which explains to the consul a little bit more about the program. It says where you will be staying, it gives the dates of the program, and so on. So that will help you with your visa application. And we also recommend students purchase or double check with their insurance that they have for both travel health and also cancellation insurance for your flights. For finances, we definitely recommend you start budgeting now. Start thinking about your finances for summer abroad. The final payment due date is to be confirmed, which should be in late March or early April this year. And we encourage you to apply for the financial awards that are offered through the Summer Abroad Office, as well as several external awards which are offered through U of T, but not through the Summer Abroad. So if you look on our website, there's just a screenshot from the Financial Aid tab. There's a lot of useful information for you about these external awards, like the CIE award, or possibly through your own registrar's office. There might be other awards. And it also gives you the criteria for the Summer Abroad Awards. There is also a video put together by our director about financing your summer abroad. So we recommend you watch that as well. It's a webinar similar to this one, but it's all about financing your summer abroad. So the program is also eligible for OSAP. If you are currently on the fall-winter OSAP, you will just need to apply for the summer extension. But it doesn't cover all of your fees. And also, they only release the funds when the program actually starts, and our fees are due well before then. It's also good for some on-site expenses. It can help you offset some of the costs, but it wouldn't be your only source for summer abroad. So you will find the details about the cost for the program on our website. It is under the Mexico program. When you click on the cost, you will find the breakdown for both international student and domestic students. The only difference is there is a premium on the course fee for international students. So here is a chart on how it looks like. And just to walk you through how it works, some of these fees are paid directly to Summer Abroad. Other are varying costs. We do come up with an approximate total program cost, but it is variable because not all of these fees are paid to U of T. So you would pay your application fee to the Summer Abroad office, your course fee also to Summer Abroad. The U of T incidental fees are the only fee that are actually paid on Acorn. So when we add the course for you onto your Acorn, it will trigger the summer incidental fees, and those you would pay on Acorn. The other fees would apply directly to Summer Abroad. The airfare cost here is based on the recommended flight that we have. Again, you may be able to find a cheaper flight if you are able to, or if you are willing to make more steps along the way. We try to get the most direct one that we could. So here a little bit more about the financial award with Summer Abroad. As I mentioned, we do encourage you to apply for our internal awards. And this you can do at the same time that you are applying to the program. It's very easy, it's very streamlined, and we encourage all eligible students to apply for it. There are multiple awards for Summer Abroad up to $5,000. So again, it doesn't cover all of your fees, but if you put that together with other sources as well, it can really help you with your finances. The award criteria for the Financial Aid Summer Abroad Awards that you have to be a Canadian citizen, permanent resident, or protected person. You will have to be a current University of Toronto undergraduate student. You have to have completed at least 4 full credits by the past December. So if you are in first year, you wouldn't be eligible. And you have to have a CGPA of at least 2.25 for the Summer Abroad Awards. Some of them do require a higher academic average. So with the financial needs-based awards, we also ask you to upload a proof of financial need, which is usually an OSAP assessment, but it can be any other forms as well if you are not on OSAP. Once you submit that application, the award committee will determine which award you are eligible for, and we will make the decision based on that. Aside from the needs-based awards, there are also some merit-based awards, and these ones are open to all current U of T undergraduate students. Again, you have to be above first year and your CGPA of at least 2.25. The merit-based awards, there are fewer of them available, and you also apply for them after you've applied to the program. So once you've submitted your summer abroad application, you can go back in and search the merit-based awards and submit a separate application for those. So applications open on December 5th, 2025, and the deadline is February the 4th, 2026. There is a $210 non-refundable application fee, which you pay through the Summer Abroad website. You may apply up to 2 programs as part of this application fee. We will try to assess you for the first choice, but if you are not admitted, you will be automatically assessed for your second choice. A brief note here, unauthorized aid is not allowed at any step of the application. You should feel comfortable responding to the program questions yourself without any aid. And this is just to give you a look at what the application looks like, and to highlight that you want to make sure that you have green check marks next to all of the fields. That way you know you have completed all of the fields of your application. And after you've paid, you will make sure that you've actually submitted your application, and you will get an email confirmation of that. So the assessment, in terms of assessment, we do look at multiple factors that when we are doing the assessment. In addition to the online application, which is all written, we also have a recorded interview question, which we ask students to complete. These are very general questions. You're not expected to prepare for them. They are not specific to any particular summer abroad program. They're really just about adaptability and personal experience, how you handle problems, things like that. So that recorded interview, the way it works is once you've paid your application fee, you will receive an individual link. And once you go to the link, a module opens up that allows you to record and complete the interview questions. It usually takes about 30 minutes or so. Again, once you have paid your application fee, you will receive details about that part of the application. There are also some great how-to videos on our website, which our work study student put together. So I'd advise you to definitely check those out. They can help you prepare for all the steps that you will need for your application. So in terms of assessment, again, we do look at academic suitability. We do want to make sure that you have at least a minimum CGPA of 1.75, but we also pay a lot of attention to your personal statement, both written one and the recorded interview questions. So because it's not first come, first serve, you don't need to be in a rush to complete your application. Just make sure you have it all completed by February the 4th. Admission decisions. So admission decisions will be sent out shortly after the application deadline. So by mid-February, you should hear from us by email. And if you are accepted, you'll have 1 week to confirm your participation by paying a non-refundable $1,000 deposit. Along with paying your fees by the remaining fees deadline, there are several post-acceptance steps, so we will require more information from you. We will also be providing you with a lot more information, and that will all happen through the Summer Abroad application once you are accepted to the program. We also do a pre-departure orientation in mid-April, which will give you even more details about where you are going to be staying, how to get there. Your on-site coordinator will be there at the session to meet you. It will be online, similar to this one. And in addition, we create an online student guide, which is very specific to each program. So you will have access to the online student guide while you are on site, as well as beforehand to prepare for your program. Last but not least, I want to quickly highlight accessibility abroad. If you think you may need accommodations, for example, extra time, adaptive technology, a barrier-free environment, or interpretation support, please register with your campus accessibility services. This is how an accommodation plan and a letter of accommodation can be put in place. For Summer Abroad, the key timeline is this. If you have a letter of accommodation, you need to upload it within 7 days after you are admitted. And a quick reminder, support can vary country by country and by site. We cannot guarantee every location can offer the same accommodations you may have here at U of T. So please reach out early so we can discuss feasibility and plan well. Summer Abroad is committed to equity, diversity, inclusion, and accessibility. Our goal is to support all participants and make sure you can participate in the learning opportunities in a way that works for you. So if you have any EDI related questions, you can contact me directly. My email is on the slide, and you can also book a virtual advising appointment using the link or the QR code. If you are unsure whether something is an EDIA question, it is still fine to reach out, and we will point you in the right direction. This slide shows our EDI resources for different student communities. This includes students with disabilities, mental health and well-being abroad, first-generation and international students, racialized students, students in multi-faith communities, indigenous students, students in the 2S LGBTQ+ community, women travelers, and non-traditional students. These are not labels. They are simply a way to help you find relevant information faster as you consider which summer abroad option fits your needs. We also have a site-specific EDI resources page. Different countries can vary in cultural norms, inclusivity, and legal protections, and it can be helpful to understand the local context before you make a decision. So we have gathered destination-specific information to help you think through whether a location is a good fit for you, for your needs and for your identities. You can access it through the EDI and accessibility section on our website. And lastly, I want to flag the Summer Abroad Inclusion, Diversity, and Excellence Award. This award supports undergraduate students participating in summer abroad based on academic achievement, financial need, and contributions to advancing equity, diversity, and inclusion. Preference will be given to Black and Indigenous students. If you think this may apply to you, I recommend checking the details early so you have time to plan for your application. You can find it under the EDI and accessibility section as well. And one last word before we conclude our presentation today. If you haven't already, you should check us out on Instagram. Our students do incredible posts about their experiences in the summer abroad program. There's all kinds of stuff on there. We also have on our website student stories where you can see students who've been even written short essays about their experience and have provided pictures. There's videos, lots of ways for you to find out how these programs are enriching to students. So I encourage you to check our Instagram at U of T Abroad. And just finally, to highlight other ways that you can get in touch. So of course, check our website and do check it regularly for updates. And feel free to book appointments with me about the program or about any aspect of the application you want to discuss further. You can also reach us by email at any time. We encourage you to get in touch if you have any questions. So thank you so much for joining us today. I really appreciate all of you coming. As I mentioned, the recording will be posted on our website within a couple of days. So if you can refer back to it, please feel free to, and please feel free to send a link to some friends or family who may be interested. And of course, reach out if you have any questions. Also, if you have any questions for our professor, you can send them to me and I can forward them to him if you have any academic concerns as well. So again, thank you, and thank you, Joe, and thank you, Aisha, at the back end for handling the Q&A. Thank you, Professor Courtney for joining us today and talking about your course. And thank you, Nate, for sharing your experience. And thank you, everyone, for joining us today. And I wish you all the best of luck with your applications.